Welcome to the Heinzz 57 edition of Taro Reality.
Heinzz 57 is so tasty.
Part 1.
That's true.
And
let's
get started.
A lot of big news.
With a lot of big news. I mean, we have injuries. We had debuts. We have DVDs coming out.
Or do we?
We do. We just have people pissed off about it.
Can they stop it?
And we have people coming back.
We do.
So let's get started with what a major bombshell was dropped this past week.
Yes, it's
by the
very conflicting reports.
They are going to bring out an Owen Hart DVD.
Or are they? Martha Hart is not.
Wait a minute, she said she was behind it.
First report said that she was good with it. She's okay. Her and the Hart family were great with it. Now they're saying that their report was incorrect and that she knew nothing about it until it was already announced and a friend of hers told her about it. So what's going to happen is Martha going to be able to get to the courts and get it stopped.
And make all the fans mad who want an Owen Hart DVD.
But are we being selfish? Should we just let it rest and just say, you know what? Let the man rest in peace.
No,
like
it's been
she said.
16 years.
But, they may have to wait till her, I guess till her, but she passes away or something. I don't know. That'll be a long time from now, probably.
Well, we'll see. WWE bringing it up and everything, maybe the limitations of them not doing anything.
Right. There was an original lawsuit where Martha won basically probably enough money to live off of the rest of her life with probably what it was is a wrongful death suit.
Yeah.
But of course, WWE didn't contest it, because hello, it's on film. So, of course, she won that, but there may have been some kind of clause in there because for years now, they've talked about her blocking stuff. Even when they did the Hart Family Dynasty DVD, she did not like the fact that Owen was in that. But I think they were able to get away with that, saying, well, it's because he happened to be in matches with these other Hart family members. Because I don't think he had any matches, singles matches, without them being other Hart family members in the match.
That's true.
I don't
him and Brett. When the mama threw in the towel to help him beat Brett.
Him and Brett were in matches. Him and Bulldog were against each other in a tag team. And Neidhart were together. So there's ways to get around it because they can say, well, it was a Hart family thing.
Well, I'm telling you right now, underline it, circle it, mark it down.
Right.
If this DVD hits the shelves for the fans to buy.
Sold out.
No, I'm not talking about that. If this DVD does that,
yes,
Owen Hart goes in the Hall of Fame next year.
I could see it. But it will sell out very quickly.
Oh, yes, it will. If you're going to pre-order, you better pre-order it.
Yeah, if they're going to make a big deal out of him like this, yeah, he go in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, if that DVD comes out, then Hall of Fame is on the next step. And why not at the biggest one they're trying to sell out?
Because Brett is in good terms with the WWE. Jim Neidhart's been through the rehab thing, so he's on good terms with him. Natalia's there, Tyson Kidd's there. So
you've got plenty of Hearts.
They can get away with it without having to have Martha around anywhere. But they may, out of respect for Owen, send her the $5,000 that they pay for the Hall of Fame inductees. Of course. They should do that. She should also get a cut of the profit off of the DVD because she's basically putting it out there that all they want to do is make money off of his death. And like I said, I don't think it should be about his death. It should be about celebrating his life and the legacy he left behind. Yes, his whole goal in life was not to always be a wrestler. They've documented it. He wanted to be a wrestler. He wanted to make the money. He was very frugal with his money. He wanted to save his money up so he could retire from wrestling. Do what?
And a prankster.
They're in a prankster. He wanted to save his money up so he could retire. And then once he retired, he was going to go back home in Canada, live with his family, and become a firefighter. Which is all well and good. That's great.
That's dangerous too.
That is dangerous.
All right. Well, we got that. That's some good news. Some good. Hopefully, it will come out. We definitely gonna buy it.
I would definitely buy that.
Scott Hall, another Hall of Famer, kind of.
Not a Scott Hall.
Not a Scott Hall, which is kind of retarded.
It is pretty stupid.
He wants to work for NXT. He wants to help train.
Good.
I think it's good if he can stay off the hooch.
That's right.
No hooch for Scott Hall. So.
But he would do great for character and promo class.
Oh yes, definitely. Speaking of a character who probably wouldn't be doing pretty well, made his debut this past Wednesday on NXT.
Kinda.
Don't know the name.
They did not give him a name.
We've seen the face. We've had everything.
Very, very odd that they're going to put him out there. And
I know.
Reports say the reason they didn't say his name because they don't know his name yet. I'm like, don't jump ahead of yourself. You need to know a name before you put him on television.
He may be the man with no name. We have old
Brodus Beefcake.
We have old
Brodus.
You said Brodus. We have you. What are you?
What am I drinking?
It's awful clear over there. We have old blue pants.
True.
So he could be the man.
They're not gonna make a joke out of him though.
No, they're not.
Uhaa Nation.
Hey, one of those may end up in his name. So
just call him Uhaa. Uhaa.
That's a lot of A's.
That's a lot of A's. But he made his debut Wednesday night, signing on the dotted line.
Yep.
He already, of course, signed a contract. But
of course,
it's for television. He signed a contract with Regal, but it was very cool the way they did it. You know, I thought it was very interesting the way they were like all formal. He was like, Regal's like, oh, have a seat right here. He's like, oh man, thank you very much. I was like, oh,
he's well spoken.
Very well spoken.
So
he didn't sound because his name looked so foreign. I thought, oh Lord, he's gonna be a bad promo. He can't hardly speak English, but he sounded great. He sounded just, you know, he had regular plain English.
Well, they need to start signing people after the injury bug has struck.
Woo.
First with Sami Zayn, who made his debut on Raw against the United States champion.
And ladies and gentlemen, I saw where he looked like he had a stinger when he, you know, when I saw it, I saw the video because, you know, I don't get to watch on Monday, but I saw the video and I thought, oh man, he hurt himself when he did the shoot through DDT thing, because when he landed, he went, gosh. And then they show the video of him celebrating
like that.
And apparently
that's
the shoulder.
Same
he's
shoulder.
Already had surgery or whatever it was on. He's already had something repaired on it when Kevin Owens took the belt from him, and then he was missing for a little bit because he had to go get the shoulder repaired. And apparently he should not get excited that way because he was just
he wasn't happy.
He was like
people knew they would change his name before Brett did. So.
Well, of course, because they said,
but we had
one
no
of your own or whatever. But yeah, they're going to know something. They're going to announce something before the takeover.
They have to.
Because
that's two matches.
In the main event.
That's two matches right there. Because the other guy, Hideo Itami, is out for 6 to 8 months with his bad shoulder.
Yeah, 6 to 8 months. So apparently he's supposed to be in the triple threat with Tyler Breeze and
so now to be a
Finn Balor. Will it be a singles or will the title match become a triple threat?
Ooh.
Will it be Kevin Owens, Tyler Breeze, and Finn Balor? Combine the two matches together, and there you go.
And then because they've had other matches where they could add another match, have their same number, but turn that into a triple threat.
Yeah, they could pull up another match that's been going on or something.
Well, they got till May 20th.
They could put Uhaa in there for his debut to make up for that triple threat going away and becoming the main event triple threat. But that would be kind of interesting. And you know, of course, Finn Balor if you notice, they put it on the website on WWE.com about who's ready for Monday Night Raw. The picture was of Finn Balor, but they said Bailey, and they said Enzo and Kaz, and then they said Finn and somebody else. And it's like, okay, is this just one writer's opinion? Because you know nothing gets past Vince.
No.
Or is this just them programming their audience to say, I want Finn Balor on TV? Yeah. And I think it's just them controlling their audience to say, I like that guy. So they're not going to have him lose to Kevin Owens for the title match on TakeOver. So if they do a triple threat like that, Tyler Breeze will take the pin.
Of course, yes. He'll take the pin.
He's got a future, I think, especially after the E60 video. I don't know if you saw it.
I did.
But such a transformation for him from, Mike Dalton or whatever his name was, all the way to Tyler Breeze.
And Finn could hit his finisher on Tyler Breeze. Owen sneaks in and takes the pin.
So he yanks him out of the ring or whatever, and 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean it works.
It does work.
We will see.
Sami Zayn, of course, still has a match.
This week will tell the tale.
Of course, because like I said, you still have Sami Zayn who can come back and say, "Hey, I never got my match. I was injured." Hideo Itami can say, "Look, I never got to compete for the number one contendership." So you've still got a whole big open window, and of course, Alex Riley is also out with an injury where he's getting surgery, which it wasn't from any of this. It was already, he was dealing with it.
Have you seen some of the pictures he sent out on Twitter? No. He's wearing a Kevin Owens shirt.
Weird.
Yeah, because Kevin Owen put him out.
There you go.
He said, I'm gonna wear the shirt
as a reminder.
As a reminder of the man who put me on the shelf.
Kevin Owens has way too many flipping feuds.
He
He's got the
does.
Sami Zayn. He's got the Alex Riley thing, and he even he had a brief thing with Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dang gum, son, and I could just see Rhino going after him.
And going after Regal. Him and Regal go after him sooner or later.
Yes, they're doing the whole Jim Cornette
They are.
storyline. They are going to do it.
They are.
Why not, you know? But this is huge. We're both looking forward to this. Las Vegas tapings, Global Force Wrestling, and they had a big press conference in Vegas with the talents officially announced for Global Force. You have Davey Boy Smith, easy for me to say, Jr., formerly known as David Hart Smith. You have PJ Black, he's now the Dare Wolf. He used to be.
The Dare Wolf, yes.
He wanted to be the Dare Wolf in WWE, but apparently they didn't like him.
They said no Dare Wolf.
Justin Gabriel. Doc Gallows, who was Luke Gallows in WWE. Carl Anderson, his partner. So you already have 2 tag teams because they also announced, which I don't think it's not written on here, but David Hart Smith's tag team partner, Lance Archer, he was also announced. And so you already have 2 tag teams right there. And they're both big in Japan tag teams. So, interesting where they're going with that. And then, of course, Chris the Adonis Mordetsky, who used to be Chris Masters. So if I go to WrestleCade, I get to meet someone from Global Force Wrestling.
Yes.
And then, of course, interesting, apparently they're working with Ring of Honor. Because why would he be able to do this if they're not working with Ring of Honor? You know what I'm saying? And that is Moose. Moose, because I'm not saying his last name. Look at that mess.
I see that last name.
That's worse than Uhaa.
But, I mean, it works.
It does work.
Vince got you in a contract. Everybody else, you should be free to go.
Free to
Okay, you're using me right now, then I'll stay with you. I won't go. If you're not using me, they won't me.
It's kind of like back in the day.
Yes.
With the, what do you call it? With the territories.
Yes.
Territories, they would run a year or so in this promotion. And then they would, down in Florida or something. Then they would go to Texas for a year. And then they would go to Alabama for a year. And then they would go to Fitz Senior for a year. And then they'd go over here for a year.
And see, a good thing about this, and with Hart, Tommy Dreamer's thing and everything, you can bring it. I mean, that'd be one big event. I mean, you promoted our champion versus so-and-so's champion.
Yes.
You mean, that would bring big money in.
Yeah.
Did you have the TNA champion versus Hardcore champion?
Yeah.
House Hardcore champion, or you have the Global Force champion,
Which
TNA?
they have yet to have a champion, so I wonder now they're going to get on TV, they're going to have a champion now.
Yeah, they'll have a tournament. So
they need to. But also women's stars.
As long as it's not Tommy to win it.
Of course.
I like Tommy Dreamer, but don't do it.
Of course, women's stars, Lady Tappa, who I got to meet at WrestleCade as well, and Thea Trinidad, who used to be in TNA. It was Rosita, I believe, was her. Yeah, because Sarita was.
So far on this what they announced, they have 2 tag teams, 1 single match, and a women's match.
Yep, already. Because PJ Black could face Adonis. And then Moose is in there somewhere for something, He'd come in and just destroy a jobber.
Hey, triple threat there.
A triple threat,
Yeah.
But there are more names of obviously to come because
exactly.
They've already announced 3 different tapings. So that shows to me that if they've already got Vegas set up for 3 separate tapings, and it's not 3 tapings in a row, it's 3 separate tapings in different months. That shows to me right there, they've got something set up. Jarrett's got something up his sleeve.
Oh, Jarrett's a good businessman, I mean.
And we've already said that, Jim Cornette, talking working with him. Eric Bischoff's talking about working with him. And they're teasing, they keep asking Jim Ross if he's going to commentate with him. He said, look, if the schedule permits. But he sure does know a lot about Jarrett's promotion.
I'd be glad if JR could do it.
Yes, that would be cool. But you may have an old school Raw type feel because you could have Jim Ross and Jim Cornette for the commentary.
You could, hey, that works.
Jim and Jim.
Jim and Jim.
Jim and Jim.
And people who are not working for TNA may be able to show up if Dixie will release the purse strings.
Yes.
You've got Ring of Honor people, like I said, who can show up. You've got people from other countries can show up.
Yes, because he's got huge connections with like South Africa, Japan, England, all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be a hybrid of styles.
And Lucha Underground. If they're not totally signed to Lucha Underground,
right.
Show with Jarrett. I mean, Jarrett's got a wide open door right now.
He does.
And that could be the thing. Come up next week. because you never know who's going to show up in Global Force, because we are a global.
Right, exactly. So, it's going to be huge. Definitely looking forward to it. Definitely excited to see where it goes and what they do. And Jim Ross was saying that the way it looks right now is that they're going to do 13-episode season, which is 12 one-hour shows. That's the way they need to keep it. 1-hour shows, just like how NXT does theirs. 1-hour shows, and then
how Raw used to be.
Exactly. And then the 13th episode will be a 2-hour season finale, which means you build your storylines up for 12 weeks. That 13th episode, you finish the storylines, but at the very end of the show, you have a cliffhanger to set up for the next season. That's the way you do business.
It writes itself.
It does write itself. But they don't want to pay for us to get there, so it's ridiculous. But it's going to be very interesting. But like I told you, though, before that, like I told you before, 13 episodes sure does sound like what Netflix does with their original shows.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
I mean, Netflix.
They don't have anything with wrestling going on right now.
Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. I mean, they're there.
Because they already have House of Hardcore's on, what's the thing called?
The Roku.
The Roku!
So, but they are on a special channel, just like the other. Some indie shows are on a special channel.
Which is very interesting. I got a good Roku, man.
But, speaking of money, or what we're going to get, I should say, another DVD coming out. Jerry Lawler.
And nobody's upset about it.
It's Good to Be the King.
Good to Be the King.
Definitely going to buy that one. And there's a lot of names they've talked to.
A lot of names.
They talked to his girlfriend.
She's not underage, as we know of.
And several of Lawler's friends.
People who knew Andy Kaufman.
Not already good. Bill Abner.
Bill Dundee.
Bret Hart.
William Regal's old manager,
yes,
right?
Yes, Bret Hart.
Son Brian Christopher.
I like that one. Yes. Road Dogg.
Gerald Briscoe.
Harvey Whippleman, which they worked together in USWA.
Yes. Making his WWE DVD debut, the man who possibly could have taken over the company if Vince went to jail for the steroids. Mr. Jerry Jarrett.
Yeah, I know. Jerry Jarrett was very weird.
But
Jim
they worked
Ross.
together. They worked together. They owned the company, didn't they?
Well, Jeff did too, but they're not getting Jeff. That'd be a shocker, wouldn't it?
It would be, but Jerry and Jerry were the promoters of Memphis. So.
And you got good old JR, Jim Ross.
And Jimmy Hart.
Lance Russell, which
that will be interesting.
Good commentator for Jerry Lawler.
Yes. The Jerry Lawler's commentating partner now, Mr. Michael Cole.
He's got to stick his nose in it.
Of course.
WWE producer Mike Mansouri.
Randomly, I don't know why we're interviewing her.
I don't know either.
It's kind of random, but we'll see what happens with this. And Natalia will be on there.
Oh, the cat, Stacy.
That would surprise me. I texted him and
Carter. No, we're your long-lost cousins.
No, we're not related. We are not related. But she was nude before on wrestling. But anyway, I would not claim her. Okay, put your clothes back on. But
I'd rather see her than Megan.
That's true. But I will say this though, I texted you because I was shocked by that. Because I'm like, wait, that's his ex. I think they were married, wasn't it? His ex-wife or whatever. He
quit the company for him.
She got released. He said, "You release her, I walk." They said, "Bye-bye." He walked.
And then they broke up,
and he come running back. But here's my thing though. There's my thing. I'm shocked that they're gonna have her on there. They wouldn't put it in there if she's going to disparage his name. I don't think. No. So it's going to be interesting what she said, if she praises him.
She probably doesn't.
Or what.
I mean,
she just needs the money, probably.
I mean, you can be on good terms.
You can be. This next one's kind of interesting. The Miz.
And finally, Vince McMahon.
Rarely on DVDs.
Rarely.
They may be talking about the heart attack thing with that one because Vince was like right there with him.
Because you know there'll definitely be a mention of that.
Mm-hmm.
And if and remember this past Friday live. It was live. And in living color.
In like 20 years.
Except for the crowd, because it was real dark, you couldn't hardly see who was in the crowd.
Of course.
TNA Impact.
I do like their set.
I hate their set.
I like their set.
They felt like they were too close up. I don't know if they tried to be too close up where you couldn't tell how many people were in the audience. But
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actual entrance set.
Yeah, it looks okay.
It's way better than the early days.
Of course.
It looks a whole lot better.
What, the two tubes where they come from? The good guys come from that side and the bad guys come from that side?
I hated that.
So you hated the tube entrance?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
And of course, when they throw you down the tube and you keep rolling, you can break your neck. That's a dangerous entranceway. But I love their entranceway now. It makes it seem bigger because their entrance always looks small.
Yeah. That looks good.
Set looks bigger.
But having the camera view so close up on the action, I just like, okay, a little closer.
Yes, I guess they just don't want to show the
But we had not one, not two, but 3 returns this past Friday on the live edition of Impact.
4.
Was it 4? 4. Who am I missing?
Eddie.
I counted him. I counted him. I counted her. I don't count the one-legged dude. I know he was even missing.
He hadn't been on there in weeks.
That's because they taped 6 months ago.
I know, but they didn't. They hadn't been on there in weeks. So technically 4.
No, okay.
Technically
we'll
4.
count the handicap.
We're counting the handicap. So
but yes,
Friday Night Live.
and we had a champion relinquish the championships.
Let it go.
Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy are no longer the tag team
See him
champions.
live in Florida.
Did you see did you hear, or you didn't watch it?
What happened?
He was sitting in the back, holding the belt, looking at the belts. And you could hear in the background the referee go, the production guy going, put the belts on your shoulder. And he went, and they went to commercial.
Wow. That's about as bad as the Aries backstage thing. I can't remember who all it was. And you hear the producer right there go,
yeah.
all right, cut. I think it's just to go cut afterwards.
Yes. Walk off into the fade to black and then cut, yes. But
Yeah,
no, Bully
they need
Ray
to work on
returned.
that. They need to work on that.
Bully Ray returned he was a special referee. If you missed the first 5 minutes of the show, you missed.
I mean, they told you 5 minutes. The first
They
5
told
minutes.
you
I mean,
5
if
minutes.
you missed it, you lived under a rock. First 5 minutes.
But they're saying that was a one-off appearance.
Yes,
Bully
one-off
Ray has
appearance.
not officially signed with the company, and he may not. He may go back to WWE.
Double and NXT.
But it's not.
Did you see his?
Yeah,
did you
I
see
saw
his
his.
thing?
I was trying to lead that way. He's
Okay. I'm just
his girlfriend, Velvet Sky, she is back with the company.
with 3-4 different
Which
hair
works.
colors. Hey, it works. I mean,
Because we have other people here who work for WWE and work for TNA who are married or together.
Right, and then it goes. She goes straight into a feud again with
Yes.
Angelina Love. That's the only thing I don't want to. I don't want them to harp on the same old. But that is TNA for you.
It is TNA. Let's see. Like I said, with Matt Hardy dropped the titles. We had the team of Austin Aries and Bobby Roode come out.
They wanted the belts.
And then we had David Richards return
Yes, he
and
did.
reintroduce Eddie Edwards. So it's going to be the Wolves taking on Aries and Roode, which I can't remember.
The Dirty Hills.
The Dirty Heels, thank you. And a best of 5 series for the tag team championships.
And we were actually talking about a best of series, but we were actually not talking about those 2 teams.
Nope.
But it is what it is. Also, so that's 3 of them, and then in the main event, I believe it was the main event. One of the matches. The one-legged man, the military guy,
We'll say it's
Chris Melendez, came out to help because of a beat-down crew and Eric Young and all those other people. So he is back in the storylines. He's been out of the storylines for quite a while.
I just hope in the future tapings they have that nobody pulls his leg off. Please don't let them pull his leg
Please
off.
don't pull the leg off.
Like, pull your leg, pull the leg, and they pull the leg off.
Please don't pull the leg off.
And if they pull the leg off, I hope they don't choke nobody out with it.
I hope not either.
They cannot do this.
They can't do it. It's an injustice to the world.
I will go to Florida, to Orlando, and stop at NXT and watch a good show. Then go over to TNA and slap somebody who had the man's leg pulled off and choked out somebody.
Slap him with a fish that he caught.
I'll pull the guy's leg off and hit him with the leg. Hell, they like the leg being pulled off. Might as well get hit in the face with the leg.
Throw the leg in one side of the face and hit him with a fish on it. So there you go.
And also, before we get done with this part, before you get on to yours,
Yes.
Dixie has told everybody if you're on a contract, you can't work for Jeff. Yeah, let's see how long that lasts.
Yeah, so on their off days, which is a lot of off days.
Yeah, you film 8 shows in 2 days, and the rest of the month you're gone.
Right.
So,
Because it just doesn't make any sense. What's the big deal? Because you said that they could go to any other promotion that has DVD releases and has IPPV or PPV, of course, except for WWE because you have to have an ironclad contract with them. So, if that's the case, the Global Force should be wide open as well. Sounds like you scared. You're scared, Dixie. You got your tail between your legs, Dixie, because you know Jarrett ran away from your promotion
in that
because
part, still got a little ownership.
minority ownership.
What does that make
I have
sense?
5% ownership means nothing.
It does
But
mean
anyway.
nothing. It's just a name on part of it. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's going to be very interesting where this goes to see who actually shows up in Global Force Wrestling.
I've got a feeling. She said this. It will change. she will let people go to wrestle for Jeff when they're not wrestling for her.
Because especially if he says, look, we'll even announce them as TNA wrestlers. Oh, thank you, Jeff. You helped me out so much.
And if you want, you need to stop people from riding motorcycles when they're your champions or your top stars.
But he's extreme. He doesn't care.
Yeah, well, he just screwed up your storylines for 2 weeks.
He did for 2 weeks. Like 2 months.
Well, they do it.
But they only film like
2
once
days,
a year.
yeah.
So
Yeah, 2 days worth of writing for 2 months worth of work.
So Ring of Honor very quickly. Don't forget May the 12th and 13th, War of Worlds. I always have a hard time with that. WOW. Okay. Wow. And May the 15th and the 16th for Global Wars.
Just coming up.
It is, and one of those will be an IPPV. So go to Ring of Honor. It's ROWWrestling.com for all your details. Exactly. Plus,
that's ROWWrestling.com.
ROW.
That's what you said?
Did I say ROW?
You might have.
I thought I said ROH.
Well, hey, it's on video now.
It's on video, so we'll find out when we play it back. But anyway, ROHWrestling.com. Also, May the 29th, Amarillo, Texas.
Be there by morning.
For Road to
sing the song.
Exactly. For
Amarillo
Road to BITW. It's the road to the best in the world, which will be their next big event. So,
basically, no, I'm sorry. He's UFC.
It's fake. It's all fake. So anyway,
it's fake to him.
So May the 29th in Amarillo, Texas, and then the next day there'll be May the 30th, Oklahoma City. Also for Road to Best in the World.
Okay, big ol' okay.
WrestleCade news.
New names?
Yes, sir.
Woo! It's new names who have been added to the list of the top stars coming to WrestleCade in November.
November. How do you forget this? Right after Thanksgiving. It's the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Okay, after Turkey Day, you go to WrestleCade and watch the
stars
of the past.
So last week we told you,
and some of the future.
Last week we told you Sam Houston coming to.
I can't dance.
He danced. I never watched any of his wrestling.
But you can watch it on the network, $49.99. Get that plug in there.
So his ex-wife, Baby Doll, will be there. Interesting. What's his name? Tully Blanchard should be there. Be cool. And then this one's going to be interesting because I am going to butcher his new name, and then I'll tell you who he really is. Hazma Ali.
Not Hazma Ali.
Formerly known as Armando Alejandro Estrada.
Wow, he's still around?
Yep. And he's got a weird name. Hazma Ali. Weird, ain't it?
It is weird.
So he owns a restaurant, now he's doing indie shows. Whatever.
Okay.
And returning to I almost said Ring of Honor. Still harping on Ring of Honor.
WrestleCade in November after Thanksgiving.
That's true. That's true. Returning will be the Extreme Enforcer.
Oh, not the Extreme Enforcer. I can get that.
Easy for you to say. C.W. Anderson, along with his partner in crime, the King of Old School, Steve Corino, will be there. They're both returning. They've been there a few times. And for the first time ever, first time ever, I wonder if his manager will be sitting next to him, or his, I guess his buddy's manager. I don't know if he was around back then in WCW. It's Squire Dave Taylor.
What do you mean, Squire Dave Taylor or just Dave Taylor?
Well, they're actually on the graphic. It said Squire Dave Taylor.
So he's going with the old WCW.
But wasn't he with Regal when he was with Bill Dundee?
Yes.
And Bill Dundee will be at WrestleCade. Maybe they'll be at the same table. That'll be cool.
The Blue Bloods or whatever.
And Bobby Eaton, if he's not in bad health, maybe he'll be there.
More Blue Bloods, yes.
And people are trying to call you while we're out.
Right.
So anyway, also, last but not least, was he a commentator or announcer?
Yes.
Both?
He was sometimes.
Interviewer, commentator, something. Mr. Bob Cottle.
Who?
Look it up on the network.
$49.99.
Exactly. Mr. Bob Cottle will be there. He was part of like WCW, wasn't he?
He was, yes.
Yes.
He was part of
the greats like Ric Flair.
I looked on early Clash of the Champions, more NWA, start of WCW when you see Bob Cottle.
Right. So those are the latest names. So they're throwing more out there now.
We've got till November, so we got a while.
We do. Also, they're having the Showcase of Champions. Remember I was telling you about that the night before?
Right.
Which will also be in the same building. And now they're kind of giving us clues. They said, what would you think, ladies and gentlemen, what would you think about a show where it has all the champions from major independent promotions coming together all on one show? That's what Showcase of Champions will be. And it said that if you're an independent promotion and you want your champion to be showcased, to message them at the WrestleCade Facebook page. How interesting is that? The Showcase of Champions. That could be major. That could be Ring of Honor. That could be a lot of different things.
Could be.
The AIWF. Many different promotions could join in on that. Showcase of Champions. The night before WrestleCade.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So check them out on WrestleCade.com and WrestleCade on Facebook. And that is going to be it for Wrestling News of the Week.
Part 1 is in the books of the Heinzz 57 special.
That's right. Go get you some ketchup.
It's Heinzz 57 is for.
I know, because
it's better than catsup.
That's true. It is better than catsup. It still tastes good.
It's so tasty.
So tasty.
So many flavors. Now turn on Dusty Rose here, selling Heinzz 57.
Heinzz 57.
Well, that's it for part 1. We'll be right back in a few clicks.
For Heinzz 57 Part T.
SummerSlam 1990.
I thought that was a misprint.
It's not.
It's not. Find out what I thought was a misprint when we come back.
Because he returns at SummerSlam 1990. And we'll be right back in a couple of clicks right here on the YouTube as I answer this phone. And we out of here in 3, 2, we'll see you soon.